Welcome to part 2 of the video. This is part 2 of a 3-part series where we prototype an app in under 30 minutes. Part 1, we called out the different screens and designs. Part 2, this part, we are going to design out the individual pages. And then in part 3, we're going to stitch those together with a mobile app and have an app-like experience. So let's get started. Welcome back. As you can see, we've went through the different screens. We know roughly what we're going to do. We're probably not going to design all of these ones today, mostly because we have a good idea of what a login, forgotten password, change password, verify password sort of have. The tour, we probably would come back to that once we've figured out more of the app to understand what's important to then put back into a tour to determine if it was like multiple screens. But this is the primary filter or function, like this is the primary value offering that we're trying to determine if we should build and how that should be delivered. So that's why we focus on this, and there may be additional functionality that we layer in later iterations, but we try to just stay with that primary value to start with. So when I want to start with pop, what I normally do is get a piece of paper, and if I'm going to use my phone, I'll just draw around my phone. Like that. So now I have a phone shape. Now I can send you to a UI thing so you can get it, so you can have the notches and stuff in there. But if you just do that, then that's basically an iPhone 11. And I have a template right here. I can bring it out at any time. So the first thing that we'll do is we'll say, all right, let's come to our first screen, number 1, which is sign up. So we'll call this one sign up. Sign up. And then we're going to have some sort of logo. So let's just put our logo here. Logo or some sort of branding. Then there's going to be some copy here. So we're going to say like welcome. After that, we're probably going to have a username. So this is going to be where our username goes. And then we're going to have some email. And then we're probably going to have a sign up button. Sign up, and this will be the username, user, and then password. Okay, so there's sign up. Now after sign up, we will, let's say we drop into the dashboard. So we'll call this dashboard. Dashboard. Sometimes it's good to number these like uniquely. So this is like calling out the different screens, and then each one of these, which is the individual screens in my prototype, which I think, and this can evolve over time, we'll work on this, and we might forget or change these, but it's good to have a good understanding of all of the screens. It's very useful for engaging a co-founder or an external party to understand how you think this is going to work and how much time and money it will cost to do this. Now, anyone with a pen, a piece of paper, and a mobile phone can do this process. So there's no excuse for anyone not doing it. So anyway, let's go to the dashboard. When we hit to our dashboard, let's say that we will have we'll have some sort of header, and this might say dashboard on the top, dashboard. And then I'm not too worried about the design of individual screens at this point, but let's say that when you log in, then there'll be some sort of welcome message, welcome back, X, which will be that person's name. Then after that, we might have some actions down here. So what are we going to put down here? We're going to say, all right, well, let's showcase so let's say this is going to be showcase a REST area. Okay, and then in here, I'm going to have a REST area. So a REST area normally has got a photo of that REST area with the entry and then the trucks and so forth. And then we'll have the name of that and, you know, an eye or something to have to be a button click to say if you want to see this. Then here, we might actually change that to like a map pin, let's say. Map pin, and we'll make all of this go to the individual. So maybe we need like on this details, we may need like a rest area map view. So I want to see where this rest area is in a map. Okay. So now we have a dashboard. Okay, so this dashboard, we'll say that. Okay, so our dashboard, and then we might have our search. So we'll come over here and I'll do the search. Now you can take much more time than I'm taking doing these because I'm really just trying to demonstrate how to do this in a quick time frame. So let's just call this the rest area search, and I do this so it's one. There's normally a banner at the top of the page in iOS and Android, a little menu thing, and there's context of the page that it's on. So this may not be the final stuff. So normally when we do a search, it's just going to be maybe think about like an order of what we want stuff to do. So I think the first thing we're probably going to do is to say near me. So maybe that's like the most common search is what I'm thinking, that they're going to be looking for a rest area close to them. So you know, think of it like a Google I'm lucky. So we could have a, you know, on the search button we could have, you know, a location search. So this is a, you know, a location. So somebody can type in a location and then we can like go and do a search around that location. We can have some filters. So let's you know, you know, put some default filters. So we might, under that we might have some filters, some advanced filtering that we can sort of turn on or off. The exact screen design can evolve over time, but it's very useful for us to figure out what's going to happen and what's not going to happen, especially when we get to the interaction parts, because we're actually going to connect these together. So we get the filter, and then we might like have a button down here. Let's say it's a quick button, like a quick search near me. Okay, so near me is there, which is probably the primary one. The second one we're thinking is probably a location-based search. All right, and that may be a different location realistically. And then we can also maybe do like we do, we'll do number 3, which is like a filtered search. So rather than a location, we're going to actually look at what do these facilities have. And then, you know, we might do a number 4, a map search. Because I like the idea of a map search. So we might do, you know, some sort of QS near me, and maybe some map search would be another thing. I think I like the idea of a map search. You can see here I've got a search, I've got results, and I may then have a map search screen. And I wonder if that maybe that map search could be that screen. I'm not sure. Yeah, we might sort of fold both of those in. So so we got that. We have a sign up, dashboard, a search, map search, filter search. Yeah, so that sort of looks like a good search screen. So if let's go to let's go to the filter, search filter. So in that, what we might do is list the known data items. So for example, whether or not they have toilets. So we can start putting some icons here. So I'm just going to put an X for an icon, and then I'm going to say like, does it have electric? Does it have, you know, drinkable water? Drinkable water. Does it have a toilet? Etc, etc. So I've got a collection of these data items that I know I have for a rest area. I'm thinking that maybe they should just be checkboxes, just to make it easier for people to like flick up and go, yeah, I want that, I want that, I want that. And then at the bottom, apply filters. Because I see this as like an advanced filter and maybe a clear filters. Clear filter. Okay, so we have that. Then the next screen, I would imagine we would have, once we have the filters could be a modal at the end of the day in the design. It doesn't have to be a standalone screen. So then I think we will have, you know, the map results, and we'll have a list of results. So let's do these. So then this is results. So this will be rest area 1, rest area 2, rest area 3, etc. And then what am I going to show on this? Maybe a question for another video. And it's more getting into depth about them, about individual results. And if you can't find it, do we have a new? Maybe we have a new button here. So there's a creation here. So if you can't find what you're looking for, you can add it yourself. And then if you click, maybe we add a map icon. So you can go to the map directly, or you can go to the details. So you can go to the map view, or you can go to, like, let's put an eyeball down for now for an icon. So we got a map view and an icon. So let's say that they're going to be 2 separate buttons on the results. And then we're going to have just like a rest area might have a name like that. And then it may have some mini icons, something like that. That's what I'm thinking from a design perspective. Yeah. That looks good. I wonder if I put the location, but that's what I'm thinking that one of these, this sort of result line, looks a little bit like. And then we'll probably also need to have a results page on the map. Okay, so then we'll do the map, and that, you know, it'll just be like roads or whatever, and then we'll put a location here and maybe another one here. So this is like multiple results. And I'm thinking if you click on one, then we will open up a box, bit of info. So it'll be like a small bit of info. And then if you click the info, that will then take you to another page. So that'll take you to the details page. Then we might also have a map view, an individual map view. Maybe details. I'm not sure if I'll put a separate map table or in the details of this rest area 1. Then, you know, we'll put its maybe we'll do that more, the X's for the facilities, what facilities it has, GPS coordinates, so they can add to their system, maybe a mechanism to call out to copy to clipboard, and then we have a navigate, which then might kick out to Google Maps or whatever, so they can get live traffic updates. Yeah, and I'm still deciding whether or not, and this is good because we can do multiple designs and multiple versions of a prototype, put them on the phone, play with them, and then determine which one is the one which feels right, which feels the best. Is it prototype 1, prototype 2? Is it interaction 1 or interaction 2? And why this is useful is that it's significantly harder and more costly to change code than it is to just draw something else and take a picture, okay? So we can flush out these decisions now. It'll save you a lot of money when you come to the actual build, rather than paying someone or spending a lot of time building a certain solution. Then you start to use it and go, actually, this doesn't feel right, and then you need to change it. So remember, software is expensive to develop, but you get economies of scale because it repeats stuff very quickly. So we're trying to figure out what to build, hence the prototype. So navigate, and then I assume we might put like an edit button on, something like that. So we're trying to make this open so it can be updated. Edit, and then, yeah, let's just say we're going to do a separate map. So let's just put a map here. Maybe we'll put a map. All right, and then it's sort of right in the center. And if they click on this small map, that will then take you to the map view, which is just one big map basically. So if I do this one, there's the map view. You'll see it's just a big map. And then we might, on the bottom, we might do a detail. So this will be like the card with the images, so we can go through the images, which will, you know, have the signs and the entries or whatever. And then we'll have rest area 1, and then some of the facilities like that, and then maybe some other action buttons that may do certain actions. Okay, and then this is, you know, rest area 1 map or something. So I'm not entirely sure exactly what we'll put in here, but this is just the rough version that I'm trying to run through. We can get it much more polished than this, but if we just flick back to the search, the results, the list, map results. Do I have map results? Search, map. And what that button will do is basically search visible geo. So what I mean by that is that this search map functionality, when I'm on a location, say I just pop it up and I can see the map, and I hit that button, it will find the ones that I'm currently scrolled over. So I don't have to go back to the location. I can just scroll the map up a bit, or scroll the map over to the left, over to the right, or like, you know, go down the direction or route that I'm planning on driving, and then say I want to stop around there, and then start searching and then moving around. So that's sort of more of an interaction. All right, well, I think that's enough to get started. So to recap, we have got our screens called out, a rough design of what the application will be, login, account stuff, tour, dashboard, the primary rest area value with some searches, individuals, details, maps, create and edit, and an advanced filtering. So this is the primary value offering, and then we've went through and we've done like a sign up. You'd almost sort of get away with a sign up login at this stage. But it can be useful to call these out when you go to later iterations if you're going to start adding in social media, etc., because that starts to add more functionality into the system. So try to think about it as if it's a known thing that we understand, then that's all well and good. But if you actually went to the effort of saying, oh, I want Facebook and I want Twitter and I want CB, like if you put it on a mobile app, it has to have Apple. So then you start to think, oh, well, you have to do that piece of work and that piece of work and that piece of work. So sometimes it is useful to go down to the lower level. But for now, we have basically the primary app, dashboard. See, I like this. I like this ability for us to potentially deliver additional information here. Let's say there was an outage, or, you know, as COVID has currently hit us, there's quite a lot of information that can be delivered to truck drivers in this mechanism. We could do a push notification and let them know that one of them are closed for cleaning, etc. But yeah, let's keep going through. The reality is we might do a few versions of these and even try this screen multiple times before we decide what we're going to do. Thanks for watching this section of the series. I hope you'll follow me for the next one. Why don't you hit down, do a subscribe, and hit the bell so you'll be notified when the next episode comes out. Have a great day. I hope to show you what it's really like as a solo bootstrapper who's got another full-time job. Can I launch products on the internet that make money? You'll have to follow me to find out. Then hit the subscribe button and join me on my journey.